Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devon Terrell in raw form, and welcome to another Help Me Devon raw tutorial. And today, in this Help Me Devon tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to get your bass lines or 808s to cut through the mix. I'm going to show you a hack that I've been using for years to get my bass lines or 808s heard, whether that's on really small speakers, laptops, phones. I'm going to show you a really sick way with one plugin, which is a super hack that some of you may have heard of or may not have in your arsenal or have heard of and are not using, of how to get that bass line or 808 to really cut through that mix. It's a dope hack. Please stay with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a song. It's one of my own songs. It's called Better. And I want you to pay attention to the bass line in this song. I'm going to play it without my trick, and then the next time around, I'll play it with my trick. Listen to this very closely.
I got better dreams, better teams, better settings, better scenes, better sex, better money, better weed, better vibes, better cars, everything.
And now, with.
I got better dreams, better teams, better settings, better scenes, better sex, better money, better weed, better vibes, better cars, everything.
If you listen very closely, if you're listening on headphones or if you listen on anything for the most part, you can clearly hear a more pronounced bass, a bass line that not even is like louder as far as volume is concerned, but more or less it just cuts through. There's more pronounced, it's more intelligible. Ladies and gentlemen, I am showing you a plugin that a lot of you may or may not have. It's called Renaissance Bass from Waves. Now, I'm going to show you how to use this plugin as well, because I know what you're saying to yourself. Well, do I just slap it on and that's it? No, there is a method that I can show you of how I like to put this plugin on. So let's get to that right now. I also want to encourage you guys to go on over to helpmedevon.info at any time during this video. If you want to know how I got this vocal basically to sound like this also, that template that I use for it is on the Help Me Devon store. It's called the Devon Terrell Signature Template. I'll leave that in the description as well. Get the R-Bass too. Okay, so let's come on over here and let me crack open the R-Bass. So this is the R-Bass plugin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to solo this and I'm going to take the R-Bass plugin off and let you hear the bass line solo. And I'm going to do this without the R-Bass actually being on, so you can just get a real definitive feeling of what it sounds like without it. Check this out. So this is without it. And now with it on. And now, as we're playing it, I'm going to bypass it back and forth just to give you an idea of what it sounds like engaged and not on. Check this out. So without first. Now, if you look at my gain and see how much volume I've actually raised it, it's not much. I've actually turned it down just a little bit to compensate for that volume. So I'm getting more out of the actual bass without even trying to raise the volume so much. Now, how did I come to these settings? How do I put this thing on, figure out what sounds the best? I'm going to show you this right now with a little trick that I do. This is a quick little hack. Okay, so what you do on the plugin is basically, for the most part, it's super simple. You just raise the intensity knob. So for instance, let me turn this intensity knob all the way down and watch as I rise it. Now, it's simple as that. And of course, this just depends on how much you want to actually put into the actual signal as far as what you feel sounds good or is more appealing to you. Now, the other thing is choosing the frequency that it adds these harmonics to. Because long story short, when it comes to the R-Bass, what it's doing is it's adding harmonics to your signal. So it's looking at your entire spectrum of your bass line or whatever is your bass frequency, 808s and stuff like that. It's looking at the fundamental frequencies. Now, without me getting too deep into that stuff, just understand that it's actually adding low harmonic frequencies into your entire sound as far as the bass or the 808 or whatever that is called. And it's bringing that up the scale. Don't worry about that. I'm going to show you right now. So for me, I picked 117 for my frequency. Why? How did I get to 117? Well, this is a cheat code that I usually do. I come on over here to an EQ or any spectral analyzer for the most part. And I want you to pay attention to what this spectral analyzer shows me. What I want you to pay attention to is the troughs, meaning the peaks as far as, or the spikes that you see in the audio going up the spectrum. Pay attention to the spikes that this spectral analyzer is going to show me. Okay, so you saw those spikes in the audio. These are very significant, and I want you to keep these in mind. Now, why are these spikes important? Well, these spikes are basically letting me know these are the fundamental frequencies that are making up the bass line. So, how do I choose the frequency in my R bass based on this information? Well, what I do is I look at the frequencies that were spiking, or those fundamentals, and I'm going to choose one of them and say, hey, R bass, I want you to add low frequencies or subharmonic frequencies, or just frequencies in general, to this particular frequency range. And thus it's going to take that and multiply that up the scale to give me that full sound. And I noticed that when I put it on the actual frequencies that there are actual fundamentals, it sounds a lot better. It helps me kind of cheat and get away around of what is going to sound best as far as in tune with the song and what feels right naturally. So let's take a look at why I chose 117. So I'm going to look at the two spikes. The first one, which is the fundamental, then I'm going to look at the second spike. So you see my second spike is basically hitting around that 117 hertz mark, which I'll show you right here. As you can see right in the corner, that's where I left my mouse pointer, and that's where you can see that that is pretty much hitting around that 117 hertz range. Now you're saying to yourself, well, why didn't you add subharmonic frequencies to the lower one? Well, here's the thing. What I was trying to go for was a more intelligible bass, a bass that really cut through the mix. So a lot of times, a lot of us have heard the saying, hey, if you want to boost frequencies as far as the intelligence of your bass line, boost in the 100 hertz range. So for me, that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for more sub information or more of that boomy sound, but more of something that really cut through. So I wanted it to add frequencies to that 100 hertz range, and basically the as far as one of the fundamentals for this particular bass line was right there. It was at 117. So what did I do? I went on over to the bass line. I went on over to the R bass and I put it to 117, and basically that's how I decided to pick that sound. Now watch this. If I bring it down or sweep it, you'll notice that it has a great deal or effect on that particular sound. Watch this. Now, if you heard that, that all had different sonic characteristics, but when it came to within my song, this one felt the most natural to me. It felt like it wasn't doing too much, but it was just right. And that was decided by me just basically finding those spikes and seeing what are the fundamental frequencies in here as far as the order of harmonics that this actually bass line is actually creating. It was better for me to go along with what was already there and build upon that, as opposed to just picking a random frequency and saying, oh, you know what, right there, it's boomier, and it changes and alters the tone of the bass a lot. The bass sounds better, it's more lean, it's fatter, and it just sounds better, and it's cutting through my mix. I'll also leave a link in the description for the template that I use for the vocals, the Devon Terrell signature template. I really hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you also follow us at Help Me Devon on the Instagram, and also join our Discord community with a bunch of aspiring artists like yourselves getting game and trading secrets. So I hope that was helpful. Make sure you go on over to helpmedevon.info at any time, and until next time.